So here I want to show how we can track player performance goals over time. So what I'm going to do is go to this dashboard here. So on the left I have a scatter plot showing strike percentage for each individual outing over the course of the season, and then a corresponding strike zone chart here on the right. And then I have some filters here at the top. So what I can do is click on an individual outing, say Liam Hendricks, or I'll go to Zach Gallen, 64% on August 6th. And I can pull up his strike zone chart, the home game against the Houston Astros. I can filter through different pitchers. I can change, the strike percentage goal. You can see that 63% of outings were above a 62.5% goal, and then I can change the range of dates. So what I'm going to do is just show you how you can create this simple scatter plot here on the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another tab, and then obviously this will be good for people who are already familiar with Tableau Desktop. And I'm going to just show how to create groups. Obviously it's easy to show filter, but create calculated fields, parameters, and then a user-controlled reference line. So for example, I'm just using something easy like strike percentage, but you can change what your goals are and see how many people met that goal. So what I'm going to do here is I'm using Baseball Savant data. So the first thing I need to do is create a group that shows, pitches that were strikes and pitches that were balls. So I'm going to go to description here, create group, and then this is all the different subcategories within the description. So I want to change this to strike percentage, and then separate into just two categories, strikes and balls. So I'll go group, strike, and then ball. And so what this will do is you'll see in the calculated field that I create, but it'll make it a lot easier to do that. Do strike percentage group here. So now you'll see on the left here, and this little paperclip just shows you created a group. So now I want to create a couple calculated fields just so I can calculate strike percentage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a calculated field for number of strikes, and I'll type this out and I'll just show you how it's read. So it's going to be a few functions within each other. So what it's saying here is count the number of strikes if strike percentage group contains this substring strike. So then if this is within the strike percentage group, then give it a 1. So this will give us the total number of strikes. So if you hit like some number of strikes, then you'll get like the total number of strikes thrown. So then I'll just do the same thing for number of balls. So like I said earlier, count number of balls. If strike percentage group contains this substring here ball, then give it a 1. Then hit OK. You'll see here now it's on here on the left. So now I want to create a calculated field to get strike percentage. So it would be number of strikes divided by the total number of pitches. So it'll just be number of strikes divided by, parentheses here, number strikes plus number of balls. So we had number of strikes divided by total number of pitches. So now that we created the calculated fields, we can start putting these categories into the view to create this scatter plot. So what I'll do here is I'm going to go to game date. It did not, on here on the left, it'll show you like the type, like the data type that it is. I want to change that to date. So when I go up here, I can put this to columns, and we want to have it by each individual day. So obviously we don't want to use year. So I'll hit this, right click it here, go all the way down here, May 8th, 2015. So I'll get, when I put the number of the strike percentage, I'll get the strike percentage for each individual day. Go up here. So now I have a line chart that has strike percentage for each individual day. Obviously we want a scatter plot, so we're going to change this to circle, and then we are going to add a border to it so it's easier to see individual points. So effects, we have border here, change that to black, so we'll be able to see this, see the border around it. But obviously we want more detail in the view. We just don't want strike percentage for each day, we want strike percentage for each individual pitcher. So we'll do is here for player name, the marks card here, we'll add it to detail. So now we've added more detail to it. So we have, see here, we got Zach Gallen, July 26th, 0.5227, Liam Hendricks on the same day. But we also want to change the format, because obviously we want this as a percentage. We want to change that to 52.2% or 52.3% if it rounds up. So we'll go to the top here, go to format, and change that to percentage. And it allows you to add however many decimal places you want. Obviously we want just one. So now when we go to individual points, we have a strike percentage as 52.3%. So now that we have the scatter plot here, we want to create a reference line to show where each individual outing lines up against, a goal of 60% or 65% or 70%, whatever that might be. So the first thing we want to do is create a parameter, which will allow us to put in we'll have a reference line here and then change that reference line to different points. So create parameter, and we'll do strike percentage goal, or I'll just put goal. So we want the current value when we want it to start at 0.65. So obviously it's going to show up as percent in the field, but we have to remember that 0.65 represents 65%. So we'll go to click range here, min, max, step size. Obviously this for you, for whatever it might be, the minimum, we'll just put 0.5 because obviously you don't need to see what your goals are for a 30% strike percentage. So go 0.5, and we'll just do 1. And then step size, we'll just do 0.02. So now we've created that parameter, and we're going to show it. So obviously this doesn't do anything yet because we don't have a reference line in the field. So what we'll do is go to analytics here, reference line, go to strike percentage. So for the value, we want to use that parameter. So let's strike percentage goal. And right now it's currently at 0.5. We'll change that. And then the label, we'll just do the value. So right now it's at 0.5. So you go up here, I can change that to whatever we want. So now what we want to do is create one more calculated field. So what you can do is create a color code based off of being above or below the reference line. So we'll create a calculated field, and we'll just call it strike percentage goal there, and then so we'll do strike percent. We already have a normal strike percentage goal above/below, just so we know what it's being used for. And then I'll do strike percentage goal. And the purple just shows that it's a parameter, and then we'll do less than or equal to strike percentage. Hit OK, and then you see it's a true false statement. So if it's above, if it's true, then it'll give it one color. If it's below, it'll give another. So we'll add that to color. So now that we see it here on the right, if it's above this goal of 60%, then it'll give it an orange, or if it's below, then it'll give it a blue. So what we can do here is go to Edit Colors, and we'll change true to, doesn't really matter. Do green, more of a positive color there, and then false, we'll just give it something more neutral. Hit OK. So now we have a field here, a scatter plot, that allows me to change the reference line based off of what the goal is, and then change the color based off of it being above or below. So if I go take the straight percentage goal and I keep going down, obviously the gray starts to turn green. We can also do, just to kind of format this better, is change the axis to fixed. So what you'll notice here is I can add player name as a filter. So show filter, and we have all the pictures here. If I hit all, and then I go to Devin Williams, if you see the axis here, it's going to change. Actually, no, it's already fixed. Interesting. I'll just keep this to fixed to make sure it stays the same. So if I'm adding or taking away pictures, nothing changes. And then if you hit here, you can change the filter to a single value list. See, so you can just, go to click on individual pictures, or you can make that a drop down just to clear up space. But it's up to you how you want to use it. I'll just do single value list for now. So this right here is how you create a scatter plot.